No.
No,
I have to talk about Iron Man for the next 20 minutes.
I know.
he's never going to be done.
All right, welcome to the BeerThralls presents Beer Pro. I'm James. I'm drinking a Coke.
James, you have to have a drink before you're allowed to slur that
I
much.
don't have a drink. I don't have any drinks here. They've all been
He-
moved away and locked up.
Well, he's right. We're talking about who we got to keep our drinks locked up.
Oh, look.
Uh,
Candy apple red.
Hi, it's Jacob. I am enjoying a monkey wizard.
Monkey
Monkey
Wizard.
Wizard.
Monkey wizard. No, this is Crooked Ego from Strange Ways, an old favorite. It is an extra
Yeah.
bitter British style ale.
And extra bitter is definitely what James wants right now.
I'm actually going to throw some cat treats on the floor to get my damn cat to shut up yelling at me. Here, here. I'll bribe you. Go away.
It seems sensible.
Unseen voice from heaven. What are you drinking?
Voice from heaven. Wow.
From
Angels
the
to
sewer.
some, demons to others. Anyway, no, I have switched to a Kraken rum and Coke. Kraken has a
Ooh.
nice coffee rum, and Coke is tasty. Um, so, in honor of our gluten-free friends, I figured I'd have something that they could theoretically drink if they weren't going to France.
Yeah,
I
he's doing
mean,
okay.
yeah. Gentlemen, think.
Clink.
Clink.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Oh, God. Please don't be good. Please don't be good. Please.
So
Don't be
today we are
good.
talking about Invincible Iron Man. Who is Iron Man? So, in the spirit of returning to our roots, we come back from Nova. We've been spotty with our communications because we've been busy planning for Nova. Nova's over. We are back. We are here to once again begin with a new core set, new models, new tricks, crisis protocol. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be mostly the same. And to start us off, a new Iron Man.
It's
A new
Also,
Invincible.
Iron
mostly
Man
the
for a
same.
new Iron Age.
Shut up. It's the Invincible Iron Man, also known as Tony Stark. He's got a 4 physical, 3 energy, and 3 psychic defense. He is a 6 health, 4 threats with size 2, medium move. He has Repulsor Mark II, which is an energy attack. Range 4, 5 dice. After the attack is resolved, the character gains power equal to the damage dealt. If the attack does not do damage, you get a power anyway. And a wild, you get a push before damage. Billion Dollar Punch. Before damage is dealt, this character can teleport within one of the target character. Sorry, it's also a 3 range, 7 dice, and 3
You got this.
power.
You want me to do it?
No,
Yes,
if
you
you
should do it.
get a wild and a hit, you can throw the character size 3 or less, medium away from you. Away
Yep.
from you. Focused Unibeam, it's 5 dice, 7, it's 5 range, 7 dice, 4 power. When rolling for crits, you can roll 2 dice instead of 1 for each one. After the attack is resolved, if the
This is
attack
not
contains
can.
any
This is
crits,
does.
this character suffers 2 damage.
Yep.
Let's get you an upgrade. Affiliation Shield. While now a character is attacking, defending, or dodging, modify dice steps. Now you can spend a power to reroll one of your dice. Jarvis. When another allied character within 4 is attacking during the modified step, you can spend 1 to 3 energy, and for each one you spent, the allied character can reroll one of its dice. I am Iron Man. 1 power. If this character suffers damage from any effect, you can use superpower, basically reduced by 1. He also has flight because why not? His
It is Iron Man.
backside is the same.
Okay, so looking at the new Tony Stark, our four threat Iron Man, a couple of things jump out. Iron Man has been stealing from Wakanda. He
Not
has
only stealing from
I
Wakanda,
mean,
he jacked Rhodey for some of his goodies.
I know.
uh I think this is the first time they've actually reprinted a leadership under a different name. This is Black Panther's leadership.
Oh yeah, it is.
This is the exact same as the original Wakanda leadership.
Huh.
And honestly, not a problem. Wakanda caught some flack back over the last couple of years, simply just because it costs power, doesn't feel as impactful, but it is just a good, consistent bonus.
I mean,
Uh,
considering it's attacking, defending, dodging, like
just
it's
yeah,
everything. You get to
everything
reroll.
except scenario crisis rules.
it's freaking awesome.
No, it's solidly good.
You-
You just need a faction that can generate enough power to consistently use it.
Like Shield.
Because and Shield does have some decent power builders. I'll also point out that Jarvis is Shuri's support ability of giving rerolls within a radius. I'm not joking. Invincible Iron Man looted Wakanda and got away with it.
Colonizers.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Uh, I will point out one really important thing about I Am Iron Man is a damage reduction by 1 with no minimum. You can reduce to 0.
Yeah, you
And
can.
it is from an enemy effect.
So
Uh,
throw also
so
superpower.
throw superpowers, counterattacks. I'd have to double check the rules to see if you could use this on Crisis, like Goblin's Traps card
That's
for
not.
his
No, because
if for
that's
specifically
a.
for Goblin's Tactics card.
It's a tactics card, not a scenario effect. You cannot use this against a scenario effect. So if like
Correct.
you take a point damage from a scenario, you can't use this.
But something like Tricks and Traps, I'd have to check if that is usable because a Tactics card is technically an enemy
It's an enemy
effect.
effect.
It's broad. It's good.
So
For someone who clearly has a really important ability for reducing damage to himself and for giving rerolls to his allies, as well as his leadership requiring energy, Invisible Iron Man is hungry.
invisible.
He has 2 spenders. Here's the thing. Focused Unibeam feels like a trap or a desperation move. Of I am about to die. I'm going to nuke you down with me.
Yeah.
Billion Dollar Punch feels to me just way more effective as a day-to-day spender. Gives you additional movement, which is not terrible because at 433, Invincible Iron Man has decent defenses and a damage reduction.
Dude.
But his bread and
builder.
butter, I think, is going to be Repulsor Mark II. It gives you good control. It is a push regardless of size. You can push Malekith. You can push Sentinels. Get off my point.
Jake, you're missing the important thing.
That
Tell me
Tony
about
Stark is a thief because he stole 2 of his powers from Rhodey too.
It's a
Literally stolen
super-
2 from War Machine.
It's a super builder.
Oh no, that's great. What did he take from War Machine?
All right, so I Am Iron
Wait,
Man,
you need War Machine the game or
War Machine
or
the
Rhodey? Okay.
character, the
Just
3-point character.
turns out Iron Man's a warcaster.
Yeah, no kidding. But I Am Iron Man is the same power as titanium armor plating.
Yep.
I thought titanium armor plating
Excuse me,
also.
no, this is better than titanium armor plating. My
Yeah,
apologies.
because it
I was
can't go
waiting
to.
for you
It
to
can go
read
to
that
1.
part about reducing to 0. Yeah.
Yeah, because it costs. But he's stealing everything. His focused unit beam is basically now it is 5 range, so it's a bump up from Rhodey's empty to clip. So
Yeah. The range is
it's
good.
Does
the range is
empty the clip?
outstanding.
Does
That's
empty
a
the
hella
clip
smite.
also do damage? I thought damage was on skulls if he did empty the
No,
clip.
empty clip is also wilds.
Huh.
Is
I
empty the clip? Is that the beam? Please remind me since you have the card up.
No, empty to clip is a target range 3, 8 dice attack. Otherwise, its text is the same.
So empty the clip is really useful for Rhodey because it's his only. I don't think he has another spender. He just has the beam.
That's his big spender. Yeah.
So Iron Man having multiple spenders to choose from is part of why Focus Unibeam isn't as exciting to me because I have Billion Dollar Punch and a potential size 3 character throw, especially
Billion Dollar Punch is just good.
It's just good.
Yeah.
It's flat out good.
But once again, you're power hungry. Repulsor Mark II is always going to make you power. It's the only way you make power. And at range 4 with wilds for any size pushes, that's just again Shuri, baby.
I mean, his repulsor mark.
Except it gets to do damage.
His repulsor mark. Okay, you're throwing 5 dice. So like,
right.
Even if like, and the thing is, it's not like okay, I didn't hit anything. It's I
Don't
didn't
forget,
do damage.
Hold on.
Mhm.
It's a 5 dice with you get an upgrade in your pocket because he's always going to start a turn with 1.
Yeah.
So his builder will always net 0, even if he uses his reroll.
Even if he uses his leadership reroll.
Right. He will always net 0. He will always have 1 in a pocket.
Yeah. So he's almost always going. If he doesn't get a wild on Repulsor, he'll spend his power to get that reroll and try to get a wild.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And with 5 dice in a reroll, a wild's pretty likely.
So honestly, great. Like I feel like we're at with his damage reduction, his stamina pool, and that builder. He's already threat 3 easily. So the rest of this is gravy to get him to threat 4, and I think he's got tools to get him to threat 4.
Is this a misprint? The
Uh,
let's get you an upgrade while an allied characters is attacking.
Now,
Is that supposed to be another allied
no,
character, or is that
because
supposed
he
to be an
can use it
allied
on himself.
character?
any allied character.
Okay.
So he has to be able to use it on himself. Otherwise, he'd be like, everyone in my affiliation gets a leadership ability except for me,
I mean, I'm
which
okay
doesn't
with
make
that.
sense.
Yeah, you just don't like Iron Man.
So, in general, I think this Iron Man looks to be a big improvement on the original. Is he going to have the same table presence? Maybe. We're going to see. So, with
He's
every
going to
new
shake
Iron
shield
Man,
use.
Jake,
it is going to be a different shield.
I'm not sure if he's going to fit into Criminal Syndicate.
We'll have to figure it out.
I
I
mean,
will
he won't
say,
fit in as a Sentinel, but not bad.
if what you want is Helios as a delete Malekith button, and you don't want to, if you're willing to spend one more threat on original Iron Man to get Invincible Iron Man, would it be a good upgrade for lists that just want access to Helios? I'd say it's worth considering
Yeah.
because you're bringing a good amount to the table. Where I think focused Unibeam, if you flip to injured and you're sitting on a pile of energy and you just really need to smack something, focused Unibeam might be about as good as it gets. But there's just not a lot of other scenarios. It would be my go-to option. I'd try to do $1 billion punch.
Hold on. I think-
Hold on.
Range 3,
So,
place with 1. No,
so,
that's
so,
punch the living snot.
so,
And
Jake,
it's so useful a power.
I need you to get your cards because I need an order of operation.
James is having a thought. Everyone brace.
So say I roll my
I
7
don't have those
dice.
anywhere.
I get a crit. I roll
Mhm.
another dice. I can technically it now this is where the order of operations. If I get a crit and roll, does modified step goes after that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can go back and re-roll that crit because it says after this attack resolve, if the attack roll contains any crit rolls. I've
You
already
I think
got the
could.
your order of
bonus
You
operations is
for
could.
tricky.
No, that is accurate. Modify happens before the attack is resolved. James, you've hit on a brilliant idea of using your rerolls to do less damage.
no, you can still do like you
Well,
get the
yes,
extra
technically
dice.
he's going to do less damage to himself as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you roll 2 extra
1 less
dice.
damage for the enemy and 2 less for himself.
Yeah, if you roll 2 extra dice and you're just like, I really don't need the extra damage on this, but then like you go, yeah, I can re-roll it and see if I get a wild or if
You
I get a
could,
hit.
but now your 4 threat attack has upped to a 5 threat. Or sorry, a 5 power. Without spending anything, without getting anything back. So
I
I'm
still
saying
say if you
if you
accidentally
have the
kill
power,
yourself, if you accidentally kill yourself and you don't
Yes, there
want
is a way
to,
to
this is a
accidentally
way,
unsuicide.
yeah,
I
this is a
think it's
way to not
probably
actually
just
do it.
easier to use shield tactics cards to get an extra free movement and then use $1 billion punch and use the
Or
extra movement from that to get onto a point.
Oh no, I agree
or
with that.
dumb suicide.
I think using $1 billion punch to throw something medium is going to have more of an advantageous thing than doing focused unibeam
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
because we all know that throws it's kind of difficult to get on 7 dice getting a wild and a hit. Meh, it
Yeah.
might
That's so
happen,
hard.
but
If you had 4 threat, if sorry, I keep saying that. If you had 4 power, I would absolutely go for $1 billion punch and use the one for a reroll to
yeah,
trigger the throw over using focused unity.
yeah, throws are way better. They're always better.
It not always, but usually.
Focus Unit Beam feels like its last turn. Even if I flip Iron Man over, it won't
It's
matter.
it's there if you need it, but
On his
I don't think
back,
it's a go-to.
yeah, like once you flip, it's just dump your power into it, especially if you have one more turn to go, and just if he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies. Um, so Along with new characters is a new set of tactic cards in the box set. And Invincible Iron Man brings 3.
Oh dear God! Of course he does.
Ah,
Of
he.
course.
So there are 3 new Iron Man shenanigans. So the first one is specific to Invincible Iron Man. Repulsor Refraction.
I'm sorry. What?
If Repulsor Refraction. If it is
Well,
invincible, well,
and Captain America.
if it is Invincible Iron Man's activation, he's within 4 of an allied Captain America. They can each spend 1, and then Invincible Iron Man makes the attack above.
Wait. You mean Captain America First Avenger,
Captain
not
America
one of
first
the
Avenger.
other
Sir,
possible Captain
Oh, I
Americas?
was about to say, can you do this with?
no, this is specific to the new models.
Okay.
2 new models. Ricochet Rampage, beam 4, 5 dice. Energy. When placing the range tool for this attack, place the tool in contact with Captain America First Avengers base. So basically, you get a beam 4 for 2 energy that's fired from Cap's base if he's within 4 of iron. And it does cost an action. So it is one of your actions,
That's good.
but it's pretty good. If you are playing a list with the 2 of them in it, this is a strong consideration.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's some shenanigans.
How much damage is the beam?
5 dice,
5.
That's still.
but it's beam 4. So, and given like the weird positioning shenanigans, if you can figure out some other stuff to do, because it has to be used during Invincible Iron Man's activation. So if Cap's already in position, or if Cap's just surrounded and you can ping multiple baddies,
Yeah. Yeah. If you're running Adventures list and you're running these two, that's not a bad
Hey,
idea.
it's got some mayhem.
it's cool. So let's get some list building shenanigans with his next card, Overcharge. During Thor Odinson's or Carol Danvers activation, specifically the alias on these, so these work with any version of those characters. The active character can spend 5 power to play this card. Choose an allied Tony Stark within range 5 of the character that played this card. Tony Stark immediately makes the attack listed above. Overcharge. Area 2, 6 dice. After each attack is resolved, this character, being Tony Stark, gains 1 power. After each attack is resolved, the target character gains the shock special condition. So, because this is open to any character, my immediate thought goes to Hulkbuster. Drop an A2 template around Hulkbusters.
Huh.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Huh.
You know what's sketchier? So remember how if Hulkbuster dies, the other Iron Man needs 10 power to summon a new Hulkbuster?
Oh, he's getting charged up from this too.
So this is much more dicey because this can only be done during Thor or Carol Danvers activation, not Tony's. So Tony needs to live with however much power he gains until the next time you get to activate a model. Hopefully Tony.
Oh,
So it's
there's
interesting.
some silliness.
I think this if you are running Thor, Captain Marvel, and Iron Man, or any combination of at least 2 of those things, including Iron Man, uh, this is kind of funny. Uh, it does require 5 power. However, both Thor and Captain Marvels do tend to generate a lot of power.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's pretty neat.
I
It's
think
pretty neat.
Thor still has the Asgardian rule, so he's getting 2
Mhm.
power around. So
So yeah, most versions of Tony Stark have some kind of damage resistance, so it's not too much of a threat to just run them into a cluster of guys on one turn and then follow up with a big old lightning bolt.
and they explode him. Yeah.
Unlike our previous card, this one does not cost an action.
Ooh, nice.
So it's just an extra attack you can pop off.
So it has to be either Carol's or Thor's activation, not
Yes.
okay. That's pretty good. Yeah.
It's pretty good. There's some interesting shenanigans you can do with this, given its intended flexibility for any version of those characters.
Oh yeah, and Carol Danvers is some hardcore wildness.
The new one, yeah.
All right. And our final card is the Stark Armory. During power phase, an allied Tony Stark can spend X power to play this card. X must be 1 and no more than 5. This round, Tony Stark and other allied characters within X range may add 1 die to their attack rolls. X is equal to the amount of power spent to play the card. So if you spend 3 power during power phase, within 3 of Tony, plus 1 die to all attack rolls.
And then the chance of rerolling it if you're in a shield.
Yes. So given, I think Stark Armory is going to be almost an auto include with any version of Tony Stark. There's just a lot of situations where it's just really good.
Hmm.
One of the reasons we didn't mention it during our previous, or whenever they go up in whatever order, our other episode on the Nova tournaments, but one reason I saw the Guardians of the Galaxy were kicking into so much play was with the release of Cosmic Ghost Rider. They got a new tactic card as well, which we'll talk about when we do get to talk about Cosmic Ghost Rider. But in short, it gives 4 injured Guardians, specifically injured. They can pay in to use the card, and it gives them an extra die in all attack and defense rolls for the rest of the game.
Yep.
So just flat extra increases are good.
That's gonna be a interesting. I mean, it's within 5 of him, so
If you pump 5 into it. So if you wait until maybe round 3 or 4, you have a better chance of having enough power for this. Or if
mm,
you wait until Tony flips to his injured side and you have
it's
a big pile of power.
it's Tony and
That'd be
all other
pure
characters too, right?
mayhem.
Sorry?
It's Tony and all other allied characters.
Yes, it also buffs
Within X, right?
So he could technically burn that card, use 1, have Thor hit him with an
which
overcharge, and now he's rolling 6 dice on all the
in
bursts.
an A2.
Yeah.
So that order of operations works. Or if you had that beam card in play with Captain America, you could bump that beam forward to 6 dice.
Yeah.
I'm still
Even
looking for.
even just original Iron Man with his unibeam on his injured side of getting his own beam attack.
Yeah, no one's going to use that card.
No, just the amount of characters, like especially again, remember he's a Shield affiliated model with a Shield leadership. So how many Shield models benefit from just an extra die? Don't even think Avengers.
I mean, it's
I
allied,
mean,
so grunts technically.
Mhm.
get an extra die. If you're splashing him, because this is a reactive, it is not affiliated. You can take this with any version of Tony, just like with Helios.
Hmm.
So I think this card alone, plus Invincible Iron Man Shuri ability for lists that can afford 4 threat and can feed him power, I think he's a really potent support piece.
There's a lot of shield silliness that could be done.
I
15
mean,
different models.
I for one just want to see Bucky with more picture this list. For one round, you position Tony near Bucky and the Howling Commandos and be like, daze or KO one of my people. You're going to eat 2 reaction shots from those boys with boosted damage because they're near Tony.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Why not throw in Cosmic Ghost Rider? Go crazy.
Final thoughts.
Uh, this new Iron Man is certainly a better step forward for the first model we've reviewed from a core set than the last Iron Man.
Uh,
Uh,
I,
Tony
So very much better.
Tony went to the gym. He did some reps. He
no,
came
he
back with
didn't.
he came back with a new set of power armor with abs painted on it, and he's here to shoot repulsor beams and give you guns from his armory.
I don't know how I feel about this. It's actually pretty good at a 4 threat, but
All hail Daddy Stark.
I don't want to. I don't want to like Invincible. I don't like want. I don't want to like Iron Man. You can't make me.
Well, I mean, you still get access to Helios. So it's a 4 threat model that is both, I think, a potent support piece on its own, can trade and do control and trade scrap with other models decently, but has access to really potent team composition tactics cards between Helios and the Armory. Just think about it.
Nathan, what do you think?
I think this new Tony Stark is going to require list building. You're going to build around him.
Yeah, shield.
With other leaders, no. He's going to be the literally the linchpin of your list in a lot of places. He's a whole lot of support in a tiny little package.
Hey James,
Hmm.
what if
He doesn't
Kingpin?
play well with Sentinels though.
What if Kingpin wants to take the 3-cost Tony Stark and bring Armory so you can buff Criminal Syndicate's damage by 1 die because it's not affiliated?
I'm not gonna do that.
Malekith.
I'll bring Lizard, and I'll bring a bunch of Spider Foes. And
How much rapid fire could you squeeze into a Criminal Syndicate list?
I mean, if anything, if you really want to do something sneaky like that, drop them into the Web Warriors and have everyone gather around them
weird
for
spider.
a round and give them all extra die.
Nah. Web Warriors don't need to actually beat you up. They just want to take the objectives and never get caught. Actually beating you up is not the default game plan. Taking your stuff is.
I mean, 1 round just getting extra die is like, yeah. He's better with just the modifying dice with power. Just
Maybe.
build up power and have shield do extra stuff.
I don't know.
I want him in 17 points, but I still think there are better models. He definitely could be very interesting helping Sentinels do their job.
And on that note of helping Sentinels do their job of oppressing a minority, we will leave you for today.
See you next week. Bye, everyone.
Game off.